Good morning, everyone. Today, my topic I am from civil engineering and um, I'm from Polytechnic Kottapuram, and my subject is integrated waste management. In that, I'm going to deal about the disposal of the biomedical waste. Subtopic is today I'm going to say about the introduction to the biomedical waste and impact of biomedical impact on the health and environment. So this is our topic. So biomedical waste. So what do you mean by the biomedical waste? It is a kind of waste which will infect to the our body. I mean to say, it is a waste which is coming from the infectious materials. Just like if you take an example of the hospital, a hospital have a number of syringes, or you can say injections, and also having the blood banks and also dressing materials for operation theaters. So different materials will be there which are infectious. So it may also and also have the medicines in them. So it may also include waste associated with the generation of the biomedical waste that you visually appears to be medical or laboratory. So if you go for the laboratory, there will be a different types of test will be going on. So they will take those samples, and the samples will be stored, and after the storing they will be through those materials. So there will be some little syringes or some you can observe that blood will be stored, small samples will be stored in the uh, um, tube like you can say that those are the plastic, the glass syringe, glass bottles will be there. They will be stored in that. So appears to be of medical or laboratory origin. So example, packaging, unused bandages, and infection kits. So you can see there will be unused bandages, some used bandages will be there, unused bandages will be there, and some kits which are used for storing those injections or those. So as well, research laboratory containing the biomolecules or organizations that are mainly restricted from environment. So if you go for the research laboratory, then there will be different other than these waste. So those having the chemicals or tissues which are to be stored and used for sampling purpose, examining purpose. So those will have the different waste in the research laboratory. So these are the different waste which are going to be produced. So this is about the now we are going to sing about the all the introductory part of the biomedical. So biomedical waste may be of solid or liquid. So it may be of solid or liquid. So examples, if you take for the biomedical, medical means what it will be there. It includes the discarded blood. So sharps are nothing but you can say small cuttles type knife, you can say injections, syringes, you can say, or all the sharp material which is used to cut and stitch our body. Those are the sharp materials. Unwanted microbiological culture, sandstock. So yeah, after if you remove any our any part from our body, it should be kept at one place. And it or if you want to put it any organic part in our body, then those it should be stored. So for that purpose, they will put it as a fresh, they will store it one place. So identify identify body parts and other human or animal tissues. So you can observe that veterinary hospitals will be there for the animals. So for the animals also some tissues, human or animal tissues, used bandages and dressings. So dressings, if you have an accident, so they will put it one bandage, or they will put dressing on that body parts. So discarded gloves. So after any operation over, the doctors will be remove those gloves. So those are the discarded gloves and other medical supplies that may have been in contact with the blood and body fluid. So if some rather than what we have discussed, other than that one, some of the medical will be contact with the blood and the body fluid. So if you go for the laboratory waste, there we can see all the testing materials. So there also have the waste. So biomedical waste is generated from the biological and medical sources and activities such as diagnosis, prevention, or treatment of diseases. So generally, how they will get these diseases, just by treatment of diseases, of various diseases. So if you go for any diagnosis system, or if you go for any uh, laboratory, there we can see this type of biological waste we can observe. So common generators of biomedical waste include hospitals. So generally this type of biomedical waste will be appear at the hospitals, health clinics, nursing homes, emergency medical service, medical research laboratories, office of physicians, dentists, veterinaries, um, home health care, and mortgages of funeral homes. So these are the common, if you go for biomedical, these are the where the waste, generally biomedical waste will be generated at these places. So you can see that the hospitals and the health clinics, you can say the nursing homes, emergency medical services, medical research laboratories, and offices of physicians, dentists, veterinaries, home health care. So there you can observe more waste generated from here. So these are the, can see the, from the picture you can observe that what are the so here some dressings are after the dressing, that that blood is on the dressing materials, and you can see the bandages, medical after use of the medicines, how it will be thick, and also those sharp items, scissors, you can see here syringe. Okay, and all these are the some in the picture. Other than this also, the wastage will be there. So how they will stored? So in the hospitals they will be stored this one. After this storing only, they will collect into the containers and they will take it. So this the in the hospitals you can see that waste also been stored like that. So that is about the introduction part we have seen. So what is the impact of the biomedical waste on the health and environment? So the impact of biomedical waste on water. Uh, s- so the impact will be on environment, we are saying. So environment is nothing but of water, soil, and air. So these are the major waste which is at the parallel, it is going to affect our health also. So the impact of biomedical waste on water quality, water, air quality, the environment, and also the human health. So, hospitals and the nursing homes generate increasing amount of biomedical waste in an unscientific manner. So, nowadays we can observe the hospitals in the nearby only we can get more than 4 or 5 hospitals. So like that, for the population is going on increase, and also the hospitals and nursing homes also going on increasing. So by increasing of the hospitals, the amount of waste also going on increasing. The issue of biomedical waste was identification. So first of all, uh, main what we have to do, we have to identify the biomedical waste, and we have to handle that one, and also lastly we have to dispose it. So these are the major thing we have to issues we have to think about this waste. So the biomedical waste involves the first identification only. At the starting point only, when the waste is to be identified, then it will help for the further treatment easily. So for the process it make easily, so your handling make it easy. So identification is the first important, and handling and the disposal needs to have a better management practice, and protocols can be established so that the work after the uh, uh, sending the waste from the hospitals, then there will be a better work after, easy work to do so. So for that they have to maintain a protocols. So biomedical waste, which includes various types of waste from hospitals, we already said that waste includes different types of waste. So those are from the we have already said hospitals. Those come from the hospitals and the nursing homes, medical research centers, clinics, and medical shops. Medical shops also, from there we will get the tablets, medicines where we use those also. Those also. So biomedical waste, medical shops is very variable in characteristics and composition. So, from different hospitals and different researchers, so they will get different characteristics of waste and composition. So, we already seen that waste have different characteristics. Different characteristics is nothing but the physical and chemical characteristics. So, those are came from the properties of the waste. So every that depends upon the composition, how much percentage is there in, how much percentage of uh, um, toxicness present in the waste. So composition depends upon the composition, we can characterize those waste. So we have to see the, we have to see all this. So biomedical waste is hazardous, so to the exposed population if not managed properly. So if it is not managed properly, we can see it make it is hazardous. So hazardous means poisonous. So that we have to control the we have to control. So if it is not controlled, so it may be it may be hazardous. So we have to see if it make poisonous things, then it will affect to the population. So we have to manage it properly. So the number of hospitals and nursing homes are increasing with the growth of the human population. So we have already said. So and subsequently to so too the generating of the waste is also more. So the quality and quantity of the waste produced each day is dependent on the type of specializations and the standards of the hospitals. So most of the hospitals or nursing homes dispose waste in any open dumping site along city garbages. So if you see in the previous days, what they have to use to do, they used to do those waste dumped along the roadside city garbages. So the quality and quantity of waste each day depended on the type of uh, type of hospital. So it depends upon one type of different types. Veterinary hospitals, if you take in veterinary hospitals, it will provide different um, tissues and different waste, you can say. If you go for the any physician hospitals, then it will have different. So if you go for any cancer hospitals or like that, if depends on the hospitals variations, the biomedical waste will be different. So most of the hospitals uh, have to be dispose their waste and should be dumped in the not it should not be dumped in the open dump site. Before this they have to use. So the harmful chemicals from the biomedical waste may pollute the air, water and land, that in turn may cause the health problems to the residents. So medical waste is considered as a source of contamination of land and water sources if not rendered harmless before it is to be buried in land or disposed in water. So before going to dispose in water and land, it should be harmless. So the it if it is directly put it will contaminate the land and water sources. So poor medical waste management causes environmental pollution. So if you the waste management, if it is not controlling that biomedical system, then it will causes the environmental pollution. So it will also unpleasant smell also with air pollution. So, growth and multiplication of insects, rodents, and worms also will be more. So, they may lead to the transitions of diseases like typhoid. So, how the human health will be affected? So, we by getting this type of diseases, typhoid, cholera, and hepatitis through injuries from sharp contaminated with the blood. So, though if you throw those which are injured with the sharp materials, if you thrown outside, so those will affect some of the diseases. Will spreading diseases will be there. So those just like typhoid, cholera. So those if you thrown open dump yard, so that will contaminate the land and by the help of the insects, you can say rodents, they will contaminate it and they will spread these diseases like typhoid, cholera and hepatitis. So this is the thing. So the people who are at risk are the healthcare workers, patients, visitors to healthcare establishment, workers of waste disposal facilities. So fetuses in the wombs of mothers, members of the public and scavengers, all this will get in a risk if you are not maintain those waste. Mean to say, not disposed in a proper way, these of the members will get affected in the people who are in the hospital also affected, the people who are outside the hospital will also get affected. So the improper handling of biomedical waste in hospitals may increase the airborne pathogenic bacteria. So what they will do, if you not handled in a proper way, so it will what it will done, it will release the airborne pathogenic bacteria. So it releases the bacteria which will adversely affect the hospital environment and community at large. So this will happen. So we have to see that disposal of the waste in environmental concern has many medical waste are classified. So they have to be of biohazardous. So if you biohazardous and could potentially lead to the spread of infectious diseases. So the most danger for humans is the infection, which also affects other living in the region. So if you can see, not here also, it will also spread to other places also. So that we are exposed to the waste before going to the landfill, we have to uh, clean them. So biomedical waste generated in the waste may pose an injury and also exposure risks via occupational contact with the medical waste for doctors. It will also affect the if you not properly disposed it, it will also affect the doctors also, nurses also, and the laundry who are in the workers, you can see before only scavengers and the workers who are working in the hospitals, and also those will also affect. So the like this it will affect to the human health also. So um, we have to see that if the if you if you if you if you throw like that, that will affect the human health also. So this has a serious impact on the human environment along with the aesthetic aesthetic the So this has a serious impact on the human environment along with the aesthetic problem. So the hazard is this in this sector includes exposure to blood, saliva, or other body fluids or aerosols may carry infectious materials like HIV, uh, hepatitis, hepatitis, or other bloodborne or body fluid pathogens. So if you see this, if you see the uh, how much poisonous, I mean to say, dangerous diseases may come with if you exposure of this blood by saliva. So if you spit out outside from the saliva, it will spread it. If from the blood, it will be spread it. So if we have seen that HIV and hepatitis, all these diseases will spread by person to person. So these by getting the bacteria from one person to person, it will be affect to the, so these are the blood-borne diseases. So we have to see all these serious impact will be happen to the environment if we not disposed in a correct manner. So the management of medical waste is of great importance due to its potential environmental hazards. So in and public health risks. So in the past, medical waste was often mixed with the municipal. So before this, what they have to do means they have to mix with the medical waste with the municipal waste. So like that, they have to use to dispose in the residential waste landfills. So improper treatment was done. So some of the people have to be used the mixing of waste with the municipal waste. So those should both should not be mixed, so that should be different. And this so in the municipal solid waste we have seen that it doesn't have the more hazardous. So what they have to use, they have to segregate, and we have you they use sanitary landfilling or any ocean dumping, like that they have to use in the municipal solid waste. So these cannot, this biomedical cannot be do like that. Before this they have to use and used as a same landfill manners without any treatment. So The management practices like generation, composition, segregation, transportation, and disposal of medical waste do not follow the proper guidelines. So when there is a problem, so if the management is correctly not followed, the waste will be generated. So we have to see how much composition, how much a percentage of the quality or quantity of the waste have generated, and after that. Um, we have to segregate the waste. So segregate the waste means, how we have to segregate, we can segregate by putting in the different colors of dustbins. So like that we can segregate. And transportation is also a big, biomedical waste have to be transported to the disposal place. So and also transportation and treatment have to be done. So in disposal of the medical waste do not follow proper guide. If all these, if they do not follow the proper guidelines, then there is a chances of getting of polluted. So the incineration is identified as the most preferred disposal method and was the only available treatment options till 2005. So before this, till 2005, what we have to do means we have to use that waste for incineration burning process. So in the burning, they will uh, get the poisonous gases also to be released at the time of burning. So uh, till 2005 we have to use a method of incineration process. So for the most preferable disposal method, so incineration process. So disposal, in the disposal, what we have to use, the method, the incineration process we have to use till 2005. So with increased regulations over toxic air emissions, so we already said by burning we will get different gases. So dioxin and furans are the gases, or at the time of the burning they have to get this um, this emissions, this toxic materials, dioxin and the furans. So all the existing small incineration facilities that do not have air pollution control have stopped their operation few years. So what they have, for the incineration process also, they should have some control devices. So those who are not having this control devising, so they stop their process. So there is a great potential to emit air toxic pollutes. So from such installations, if improperly operated and managed because of medical waste, typically contains a variety of plastic materials such as polyvinyl. So at the time of the incineration, what they have got, they have seen that they all of the waste have maximum have the plastic materials, so such as polyvinyl, PVC. So at the time of the burning, they will emit the toxic materials. So they argued that at the time they have argued about that waste minimizations and the recycling along with the control of toxic air emissions. So they suggested to get recycling process instead of burning. They asked to minimize and recycle the toxic air emissions. So at medical waste incinerators and other modern options methods to installations, all are the major challenges in the future. So instead of going to the incinerator process, some of the waste can be recycled. Like that they asked to, they are planning, and so that become a big challenge in future. So the issue like quantities and proportion of different constituents of waste handling, treatment and disposal methods in various health units. So vary from hospital to hospital and region to region. So the various process like on-site installations, steam, so the different methods what they have to use on site, they used to use the incineration process, steam disinfection, microwave disinfection, and autoclave disinfection, and mechanical or chemical disinfection are currently in use for managing of harmful waste in developing countries. So in the developing countries, what they are using, these are the methods, either incineration, either it can be steam disinfection. By steam, they are by maintaining some temperature that controlling, or microwave disinfection and autoclave method. So these are the some of the methods are used, but mostly incineration practices are found in so burning process mostly found in Argentina, Brazil, Pakistan, and India, Bangladesh. So in our country, we are till now following the incineration process only. So here, before said, so before going to the disposal or before going to the transportation, here we have to make it a different color dustbins. So here we can see the yellow color. It is collecting all the bandage and the cotton and the body parts and plasmata. Okay, so all the body parts and the cotton are collected in the yellow dustbin. So here the red dressing, okay, all the dressing used for the uh, at the time of the accidents, that is in the red dustbin. And here blue, you can see all gloves, syringes, and the plastic waste, whatever the thing that will be collected in the blue. If you go for the black, all the chemical waste, I mean to say medicines, all the medicines are collected in the black one, and the white one, needles. So, and the cut glasses. So, in the if you see the bottles, plastic, you can say that the plastic is collected in the white. So if you segregate in the coded bags, if we have coding, one is yellow is for then red is this one, so we are coding somewhere. So if you segregate itself at the hospital itself, it will uh, reduce some extension for the further treatment. So this is the thing. So we have seen the waste has affected the uh, we have till seen we have for the human health how it was affecting. So it will create the diseases like typhoid, cholera, and also HIV, hepatitis, if you not properly treated it. So that is affected on the human health. So how it will affect on the environment? So we already said that it will affect to the water and soil and the air. So on water, how it will be affected? So the improper disposal of biomedical waste may cause negative impact on the water quality, as different pollutants may leach out from the waste dumping site. So leaching means toxic liquid, you can say, may leach out the from the waste dumping sites into the groundwater. So if you dump the waste, it will after the compaction or the after settlement, some that all mostly it the dry and wet will be there. So in the wet water, it will there some water, some liquid will be coming. So that liquid, if it is gone into the water, mixed with the water, then it will pollute the water. So heavy metals in leachate. So leachate is nothing but the liquid which is toxic liquid. So we're exceeding the drinking water standard. So if we nearby any groundwater surface, in the nearby any water surface and below the ground, or any other sources, so there if this leachate mixing means, it will not maintaining the standards of the drinking water. pH value, it is not maintained. So the concentrations of aluminum and nickel and iron, all this, if it is mixed, all the metals having different types of minerals, so those concentrations, if it is mixed with the carbon dioxide, so if it is if cobalt, so nickel, so like this all these minerals, if it is mixed in the liquid, So it concentrations of the drinking water standards will not maintain. So like that, we have to see the chemical should not be mixed with the water. So how it will impact on the soil? Improper and scientific disposal of biomedical waste may change the quality of soil near the waste dump. If you see different may change the quality of the soil near the waste dumping site. So different pollutants may get mixed with the soil and may change the chemistry and biology of the soil ecosystem. So you can if you mixed that waste into the soil, so that soil properties will be changing, or our characteristics will be changed. So physically, chemically, and biological parameters will change. So by mixing this biomedical waste, so these we have to study along with the presence of the heavy metals. We have seen in the before itself, it the metals, some of the waste having in the, if it is in the research laboratory, the waste is coming from the research laboratory, means you can see that metals chemicals will be there. So the metals like iron and um, we have seen nickel. So all these uh, chemicals, if it is present, it also spoils the soil characteristics. So the mean concentration of the phys- physico-chemical parameters were found to be greater at wells near the functional dump site. So excluding the sulfate and the phosphate. So these will change it. So soil quality and decrease in vegetation. So what they will do, they will decrease the soil quality, and also it will reduces the vegetation. So due to dumping of the biomedical waste. So we have observed in the physical and chemical soil properties near dumping sites, soils at the disposal site shows high pH and total dissolved solids. So, and if you we have after observing, after dumping the biomedical waste, that was examined, that the soil was examined. After examining, what we have seen means they having the more pH value, and also that soil have the more pH value, and also TDS, total dissolved solids, also more in that soil. So these are the impact on the soil. So after we can see this impact on the air quality. So we have seen that already we have to use incineration process. So by incineration is nothing but the burning of the biomedical. So by burning of the biomedical waste may pollute the environment and also mix with the different pollutants to a level that may dangerous to human health. So what they, after burning, the gas will be produced. That gas will be produced in the air, so that will be that will be mixed with the different already present in the gases in the air, so that will impact to the human health. So burning the hospital waste at these sites is a serious threat for the environment and also human health. So it releases the harmful pollutants that cause various types of respiratory problems among the residents. So by releasing these harmful pollutants, so all they causes the various types of respiratory problems. So respiratory problems among the residents. So there we have to study the dust, black carbon, ammonia, and sulfate and nitrate. So here in the air we have to study about the dust also, and also carbon. We have already seen in the heavy metals and the water, they will mix with the water. So ammonia and also the carbon we have seen, and the nickel we have seen, nitrate we have seen, and also the sulfate. All these are also producing, and that is in the that is mixing in the soil, and also it is mixing in the water also. So these metals have to be seen. So in the biomedical waste has caused a challenge to maintain the quality water and soil. So at last, these are the impacts on the environment. So this became a challenge to them to control all this. So the quantities and the proportions of different constituents of waste, their handling, treatment, and disposal methods in different healthcare settings, various and treatment and disposal methods have been found to be inadequate in most of the studies. So they have after identification of these problems impacts, so um, they have put their effect on how to handle and treatment and the disposal methods. So, hazards associated with the poor biomedical waste management and shortcoming in the existing systems have been identified by various research. So, who are not aware of all these uh, identification of their waste, so they make the awareness of all those researchers who are in poor in biomedical waste management. So identified them, and they have gave the awareness of the waste management, and they have developed the waste management policies, plans, and protocols were recommended. So after identification of these impacts on the environment, they have developed waste management with some policies and the plans. So for that only they can all the hospitals have to be follow these policies, only they can reduce the biomedical waste. So like that they have created the uh, plan to control the waste. So here we are seeing the definition of the biomedical. So biomedical waste, as per 1998 of rule of India, biomedical waste is nothing but is the waste which is generated during the diagnosis, treatment, or immunization of human beings or animals, or in research activities pertaining they too are in the production or testing of biomedical. So the waste which is generated from the hospitals, so those are called as the biomedical waste. Not only the hospitals, we have seen that nursing homes, clinics, and research, biomedical research centers. So all those research and also veterinary hospitals. So all those are considered as the biomedical waste. So hospital waste is nothing but it was divided into hospital waste and medical waste. So hospital waste refers to the waste, biological or non-biological, that is discarded and it is not intended for further use. If it is not used for the further use, then it is considered as the um, has a waste. So, medical waste, it refers to the materials generated at a result of patient diagnosed treatment, immunizations of human beings of animals. So, medical waste is nothing but it's from a patient. So from a patient at the time of the treatment, whatever the waste is coming, that is the medical waste. Hospital means biological and the non-biological things will be there. So those are not in use. That is considered as a hospital waste. So classification of the biomedical waste. So how it was classified here, we can see infectious waste and pathological waste and sharps, pharmaceutical waste, geotoxic waste, chemical waste, waste with high content of heavy metals, pressurized containers, radioactive waste. So these are the waste which are coming from the biomedical waste. So infectious materials, so which are infectious, pathological or bacteria producing things, sharps are nothing but the needles, syringe and the mm, syringe can say syringe and the seizures, all those pharmaceutical waste. You can say the medicines. Okay, and chemical waste. Those also some chemicals which are using poisonous for storing purpose. We will use uh, uh, some chemicals we use, and waste which is having high content, high content of heavy metals. So genotoxicity is nothing but the chemicals to damage the genetic. So those will be at the research centers. Genotoxic is nothing but those will be um, at the research centers. So for the cell formations, genetic formations, they will use those. So they from those laboratories they will, and next radioactive waste and also pressurized containers. So you can say pressurized ventilators or ventilators, and where we can container having the um, gas holding. So some of pressurized containers are nothing but the where the gas will be stored. So hold and liquids, any liquids storing. So those are the pressurized containers, and so nuclear radioactive waste are nothing but the, you can see, those are the nuclear. So in the nuclear medicines, you can see the nuclear medicines are also there. So in the nuclear research we can find it. So those are nothing but some of the medicines will require the uh, nuclear technology. So those will be uh, getting from the radioactive waste. So the process, generally, what is the process? We have said processing. Processing means what is the process to reduce the biomedical waste? So biomedical waste consists of uh, waste which was already generated. So that is there. So in um, biomedical waste minimization or suppression. So it was already generated. Either it should be minimized. If it is not minimized, then it should be separated. Suppression process should be there. So in that process, in the treatment process, we are reducing some mm, load or processing procedure. So after the separation, biomedical waste identification. So we have separated. So separated thing we have to store at one place. So how we will store? By color coding, are labeling to the containers. We are identifying those medical waste. Biomedical waste handling. So it's uh, handling is also important because it should be till transportation it transported, it should be maintained at one place. Schedule for collection within the healthcare premises, and selection of storage area. So it should be stored for going before going to the transportation. So biomedical waste treatment on site will be there, off site will be there. We have seen different procedures. So incineration process will be there, and on site we have seen the um, so one of the method we have seen incineration process on the onset message, onset the treatment, and biomedical waste disposals and the record. It should be recorded or it should be report of at the time of the treatment. So here classifications are done: yellow bag, red bag, blue bag, and black bag. So in the yellow bag, we have seen that infection waste will be stored. Red bags will have the such as injection syringe and tubes what were used, or the blue bags all the broken glass materials which are the time of the operations or the thing all will be stored. And the black carboy nothing but the having the blades, sharps, metals articles or will be stored in the black. So these are the things about the impact of the uh, impact of biomedical on health and environment. Next, here we are seeing some of the laws on the management of biomedical waste. So, what are those laws? So, legislative laws on the management. So, the amended rules stipulated that. So, we have said that waste should be controlled. So, that waste control means some management should be there. So, that management should be in the unique. It should follows in all of the most of the countries should follow the same thing. So for that, they have kept some plans and policies for the uh, uh, these biomedical waste. So how they have, so that stipulated the generation of the biomedical waste such as hospital, nursing homes, clinics, and dispensaries, etc., will not use chlorinated plastic bags. They should not will not use any chlorinated plastic bags. And gloves beyond March, so 2019 till 2019, they did not use the chlorinated plastic bags. So in medical applications to save the environment, blood bags have been exempted from the phase out as per the amended biomedical waste. So they have uh, uh, left the blood bags. So and rather than that, they have said that there's those plastic bags and gloves are to be chlorinated and they can be reused or like that. So, what are the rules are there? So, first is the biomedical waste generators, including the hospital, nursing homes, clinics, veterinary, institutions, animal houses, pathological laboratories, blood banks, healthcare facilities, and clinical establishments will have to phase out chlorinated plastic bags. So, they have to use the so excluding the blood bags, so they should not be chlorinated. Other than that, they have to use the chlorinated plastic bags. So next, all healthcare facilities shall make avail the annual report. So they have to uh, prepare a report. What are they are using and what are the waste generated and how they are performing their activities. For that, they have to prepare an annual report on its website within a period of 2 years from the date of publication of the biomedical waste. So they have put it one rule that they have to create a that they have to prepare a annual report also. So for every year or for every 2 year periods, they have to prepare a biomedical waste uh, report. And operators of common biomedical waste treatment and disposal facilities shall establish barcoding. So in this, what they have to use, they have to use the that disposal facilities shall establish barcoding and a global position system for handling of biomedical waste in accordance with the guidelines issued by the Central Pollution. So, what they have to use, they have to establish the barcoding. So, if they put the barcoding, so it will reducing for handling of the biomedical waste. So it's making a global position. So the state pollution control boards or pollution control committees have to compile, review, and analyze the information received and send this information to the Central Pollution Control Board in a new form. So every year they are preparing an annual report and they have to be submitted to the Central Pollution Control Board. So, which seeks detailed information regarding the district-wise biomedical waste. So, in the state, they will submit. So that will be distributed to the district-wise biomedical waste. So, information on the healthcare facilities having captive treatment facilities, information on common biomedical waste treatment and also disposal facilities. So, they the waste which was generated, that was an idea, and also that also make an information on the common and the district wise and also the state wise, and how the biomedical waste have to be treated and disposal facilities have to be discussed in those control board. Okay, like this they have to discuss. Next, every occupier, that is a person having administrative control over the institution and the premises generating the biomedical waste, shall pre-treat the laboratory waste. So before going to the laboratory waste, they have to treat it the biomedical waste. So biological waste, blood samples and blood bags through disinfection or sterilization on site in the manner as prescribed by the WHO and our guidelines on the safe management of waste. Healthcare activities should be on the Blue Book of 2014 and then sent to the common biomedical waste treatment facility for final disposal. So they have formed a book that is called as a Blue Book, in that having the rules how to disposal and how to treat it, those biomedical. So every state and everyone have to be follow the biomedical waste uh, rules. So those are the, like that they have formed one committee. So that committee will be not a committee, you can say that is an organization. It was formed so that that organizer will look after um, all the problems which are coming into the consideration of the biomedical waste. So biomedical waste is also very hazardous, and it also create a problems if you do not properly handle the waste. So this is the um, so we have using the installation process. So installation process, waste management can be more efficient because if you using the installation process, we used to the burn up all the total waste which was generated. So it will burn up, but it will create the air pollution. So so this is the processes what we have seen. So before going to dispose of any, if any waste, it should be treated. We have seen on-site processes like just autoclaving method and microwaving method and landfilling methods. Some of the on-site processes we are using. and also um, so hazardous waste has to be formed. So those to be the increase of in healthcare services will create a problem. So hazardous materials have to waste to be reduced. So that is today we have discussed about the introduction to the biomedical waste and the definition of the biomedical waste, and we have seen the impact of the biomedical waste and also the some of the rules followed, legislative laws to the biomedical waste. So this is the topics we have studied. Thank you.